In 2025, TravelBuzz Online has included sensational headlines like "Filipinos are banned" and "10 countries where Filipinos are restricted." These phrases can be misleading, because there is no official international ban specifically targeting Filipino citizens solely because of their nationality. What actually exists are different layers of visa requirements, immigration controls, security advisories, geopolitical relations, and evolving border policies that make entry to certain countries harder for holders of a Philippine passport in 2025. The Philippine passport's global mobility has improved in some ways. Many countries offer visa-free, visa on arrival, or simplified e-visa arrangements. Yet major economies and some sensitive regions still enforce strict visa prerequisites or do not offer automatic entry. In travel discussions like those seen in online videos, lists of restricted countries often mix visa obligations with myths of bans, blending legitimate policy challenges with exaggeration. Understanding the difference between a ban, which means outright refusal to accept entry irrespective of visas, and a restriction, which means complex visa procedures or travel advisories, is crucial. This guide clarifies travel realities for Filipinos in 2025 and highlights the places most often cited as challenging or restricted, alongside the actual reasons behind these policies. United States, strict visa, not a ban. The United States is often cited as restrictive, but Filipinos are not banned from the U.S. They must still secure visas like the B-1/B-2 visitor visa or work/student visas, which involve interviews, proof of strong personal ties, and documentation. The U.S. sometimes tightens screening and requirements for certain visa categories, which may feel like a travel barrier for many Filipino applicants in 2025, but it isn't a nationality ban, it's a stringent visa process. Schengen countries, Europe, pre-arranged visas needed. Most Schengen countries, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, etc., require Filipino travelers to obtain visas before arrival. These visas require detailed paperwork, financial proof, travel insurance, and sometimes interviews at consulates. This doesn't equate to a ban, it reflects Europe's uniform visa policy for many nationalities. The screening hurdles make travel planning tougher, which is why Filipinos sometimes view these as restricted. Japan, paperwork delays and demand pressures. Japan, another popular but administratively stringent destination, has been reported as harder for Filipino tourists due to high demand for visa appointments and lengthier processing, creating delays that feel restrictive. The country has not banned Filipinos, rather, its entry requirements remain traditionally strict and sometimes slow. Australia, visitor visa requirement. Australia requires all Filipino passport holders to have a visa prior to travel for tourism, work, or study purposes. This process involves a detailed application and can be time-consuming and careful in verification. Again, this is a visa requirement, not a ban. Gulf states, conditional access, not universal ban. Countries in the Gulf region, such as Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates, often feature on online, restricted lists. Many of these nations allow entry for Filipinos, especially with employment or sponsor documentation. They are not closed. They simply operate visa-linked work systems or specific entry policies that can be strict or employer-sponsored, thus limiting casual tourism access. Singapore and Malaysia, visa prerequisites, mixed perceptions, Singapore and Malaysia have visa requirements for many foreign travelers, including some specifics for Philippine passport holders depending on travel purpose or duration. Although both countries allow Filipinos entry under certain conditions, and often visa-free for short trips based on updated arrangements, their strict immigration enforcement at checkpoints makes them appear restricted. Oman, soon visa-free, from 2026, Oman is often mentioned in lists of restricted destinations, but it's updating its policies. Starting in 2026, Oman plans to allow Filipino tourists to travel visa-free for short stays, which reflects an easing of restrictions, not a ban. Security risk areas, not nationality bans. Some regions commonly cited as off-limits, like Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, Libya, North Korea, are areas where most nationalities face severe travel restrictions due to ongoing conflict or geopolitical isolation. These countries aren't banning Filipinos specifically, they are generally unsafe or closed to international tourists due to war, terror threats, or unstable governments. Travel advisories in 2025 typically warn against any non-essential travel there. Countries with hard entry requirements. Places like Turkmenistan, Bhutan, and some Central Asian states have historically required complex visas or special permits, and notwithstanding some improvements for Filipino travelers, certain regimes still make access difficult. These restrictions are about administrative structures and diplomatic ties, not nationality discrimination. Other sensitive visa policies. Other countries listed in some online ban videos include Italy or Saudi Arabia, but both allow entry for Filipinos with appropriate visas. These destinations may have additional documentation or sponsor requirements, making them harder to enter but not banned. Real travel reality for Filipinos in 2025. Filipinos are not globally banned anywhere by default. Many countries have strict visa prerequisites or documentation requirements. Actual mobility for Philippine passport holders in 2025 includes dozens of visa-free, visa-on-arrival, or simplified e-visa destinations. Why people think there's a ban. Many popular videos and social posts list countries like Kuwait, Japan, Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, and Gulf states as places Filipinos can't visit in 2025. These lists are often based on outdated data, visa complexity, or poor understanding of immigration law, rather than factual nationwide nationality bans. Travel tips for Filipino travelers in 2025. Check the official embassy or foreign ministry website for updated requirements. Distinguish between visa limitations and safety advisories. Some countries update policies rapidly, for example, visa-free access like Taiwan's extended until mid-2025 was announced by authorities. Always verify conditions like validity of documents, return flights, financial proof, and travel insurance. In 2025, Filipino travelers face a mix of real visa requirements and perceived travel restrictions. The notion of a ban on Filipinos anywhere in the world is inaccurate. What truly exists are varying entry rules, stricter borders for certain states, and a need for careful visa preparation. Understanding these distinctions helps Filipino travelers plan better and avoid misinformation. If you want, I can also list 10 specific countries with the toughest visa requirements for Filipinos in 2025. With details on how to apply and what documents are needed.